Hello and welcome to your Fluency routine. Do you find it difficult to make casual conversation in English? Do you know why? And do you know why it is extremely important to become good at making casual conversation in English? And how you can do that? Well, stay with me. We are going to go through each of these points. Why you find it difficult, why it is important to become good at it, and how you can do that. So there's no big talk without small talk. If you're a professional, you know your big talk. It's your bread and butter. It's what you do 5 days a week, 8 hours a day or more. But as I said, it's your bread and butter, not mine, your audience. So before you give your big talk, why is it important to first engage in some small talk? Well, I imagine that you'd like me to be interested and engaged in what you're going to say in your big talk. You want me to learn about, appreciate, and take on, act upon your suggestions and advice. You want your big talk to have some sort of impact on me. How do you ensure that? By getting to know my state of mind. You need to collect, through casual talk, as much information as possible about how open I am to listen to you. And that will very much depend on whether I'm tired or well rested, relaxed or anxious, in a rush or not. So by making some small talk, you will better understand how to deliver your big talk. How to present information, what associations you can make, how much you should delve into each point, how much you should interact with me. So small talk provides you with crucial information that you can then use to adapt and personalize your big talk to have the impact that you want it to have. So you should resist the temptation to just read out your slides in a boring and ineffective way. Instead, you should connect your audience based on the information you got from the casual conversation. I get your point, but the fact is I just do not like chit-chatting. I do not like making small talk. I've never been good at it. I've always felt awkward and try to avoid it. Yeah, I hear you say that. But you know why you are so reluctant to making small talk? It's not because you are a practical, hands-on person who doesn't want to waste time on petty, trivial things. No, it's not about that. That's a nice, beautiful story. The reality is that we do not like casual conversation because it is highly unpredictable and the pressure to impress is too high. We don't know how to start the conversation without falling into stereotyped remarks or questions, and we don't want to be boring. We don't really know how to react to people's emotions. Happiness, sadness, boredom, worry, and we don't want to come across as indifferent. Also, we don't know how to follow up and influence the flow of the conversation. And we don't like not being in control. But what if we could reframe all that? What if we didn't want to impress anymore, but we were just curious? What if we didn't have to react to everything, but just listened? What if we didn't talk that much and asked questions instead? If we did all that, small talk would actually be enjoyable. So with this new frame of mind, let's go through some very practical strategies and specific, natural set phrases and questions you can use to make small talk and to enjoy it. So imagine you're attending a company event in English. There are colleagues and clients. You grab a drink, you walk up to someone you don't know, you introduce yourself, and you start a light, casual conversation. Hi, I'm Cerasela. Nice to meet you. How are you? What brings you here? What brings you here? Pay attention to the pronunciation. Do not emphasize the T. What brings you here? Ask this with a natural intonation of someone who is curious. What brings you here? What do you do? Who do you work most with? Who do you work most? Who do you work most with? Preposition at the end. Who do you work most with? What do you work most on? Do you know many people here? What's been the highlight of the evening so far? What's been the highlight? What's been the highlight of the evening when you link of the? What's been the highlight of the evening for you so far? What's been the highlight of the evening for you so far? Do you have a business card? Do you becomes do. Do you have a business card? I'm going to grab another drink. Shall I bring you one? Shall I bring you one? It's been nice talking to you. I suppose I'll see you around. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Now, grab another drink, walk up to a colleague you know, and say hello. Hey, long time no see. Haven't seen you in ages. How's it going? How's it going? Then you answer back. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Pretty good, actually. Doing great, thank you. Then ask some catch-up questions. Questions that can help you learn what that person has been doing since you last saw her. What have you been up to lately? What have you been up to? 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 Remember the chain of sounds. Do not focus on every single word. What have you been up to lately? Or what have you been busy with? What's been keeping you busy? What's been keeping you busy? What have you been working on? What have you been working on lately? Then, after they answer, react naturally and show some empathy. How lovely. No way. When you are surprised, no way. Definitely. Absolutely. When you strongly agree. Looks like you've got a lot on your plate at the moment. It's a way to say, looks like you're very busy. Looks like you've got a lot on your plate lately. That must not be easy to handle, to deal with. That must feel overwhelming. Like too much. That must feel overwhelming. You make a supposition about the present. That must be overwhelming. That must feel overwhelming. Now, if you want to make a supposition about a past action, that must have felt overwhelming. That must have been challenging. That must have been tough. Now, show that you are listening. I see. Right. Is it? Oh, have you? Did you? You just need to repeat the auxiliary they are using. So if they say, I went to Paris and worked on, oh, did you? Or I have done this and that, oh, have you? It's another way of saying, really? Now, show some interest in knowing more. Tell me more about that. How come? This is a mix of why and surprise. How come you didn't do that? What made you do that? How do you feel about that? What did it feel like? Then you can ask a question to know about someone's experience, and that will be a yes or no question. And you start that question with have you? Have you seen? Have you done? Then if the person says yes, you go on and ask more open-ended questions with how, why, what. And those questions about details in the past will be with did you? Why did you do that? How did you do that? Then you can also ask some questions about future plans. How are you gonna deal with that? What are you gonna do? What are you going to becomes what are you gonna? What are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna tell them? Now, you might want to change topic at this point. How do you change topic? How about your colleague George? Oh, by the way, I just remembered that I once worked with... By the way, you might also want to make some suggestions. Let's get something to eat, shall we? So the imperative let's is softened by the use of shall we at the end. Let's get something to eat, shall we? Or directly you can say shall we becomes shall we go and get something to eat? And now you want to end the conversation. A few suggestions on how to end it would be, do you know most people here? Who do you suggest I should meet? I'm so glad we've got the chance to catch up. Catch up means update each other on what we have been doing since we last saw each other. Everything in one expression, catch up. So glad we've got the chance to catch up. It's been great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. So a key aspect of engaging in natural small talk in English is to feel confident about your pronunciation and intonation. So really, to build up that pronunciation confidence, you need to repeat these set phrases out loud. Put post-it notes with them around your house, and every time you pass by, say them out loud with the right intonation. Act them out as an actor would do. But you're not alone. You can watch this video again and train with me. I hope you found all this useful. Enjoy your journey and make English part of your routine.